Hello and welcome back. This is Paolo and I want to make a new book review today. I will talk about advertising, and particularly I will talk about this book, Scientific Advertising. You can take a look. I bought actually the Audible version from Amazon and I listened to it 3 times. The book is about 2.5 hours on Audible. So, it's not very long, but it's a very interesting book. And I think it's very interesting for whoever is either a beginner or somebody who has partial experience at advertising, has not received the formal training or has not really worked in an advertising environment. And the book is particularly good, I think, to avoid big mistakes. But let's take a look at really what the book is teaching. I took several notes while listening to it multiple times, and you can see here some of my notes on this page, and some of total of about 14-15 notes. But I think rather than going over each single individual note, I like to highlight the message of the book that struck my attention, basically. So the first thing that is very interesting is the author is saying advertising is a sales tool. Do not use it for entertaining. Anything is too general, it's too attractive, fancy pictures, the objective of educating the public, all of that is likely to result into a huge failure. As a corollary to that, the author basically put forward the concept that you need to be very targeted with the advertising. And the tool that gives you the ability to target the advertising to a specific type of individual is the headline. So lots of emphasis has to go around the headline to make sure that the headline aligns with the market segment that you're targeting and it attracts the attentions to the proper people. So that's kind of something that I made mistakes myself in a number of times when I advertised it on Facebook. I did fell into the trap trying to be entertaining and putting fancy pictures and so on. And in fact, what I got was a lot of engagement but very little conversions in the end. And I must say that the book was right in this. And I think reading the book might avoid a number of people to really get into this type of mistakes, doing this type of mistakes. The other big teaching I think about this book is that the author suggests the advertising needs to be very precise and very factual, and that whoever is structuring and typing the advertising message should do enough research on the product and should not be fearful to write at extent what are the differentiators of the product and come up with numbers and features that really differentiate the product marketplace. So as an example, he talks about one advertiser that spends several months in a library to research coffee, and then he discovered that the effect of being somehow energized by drinking coffee in the first 2 hours doesn't really come from caffeine, but comes from other chemical substances that are present in coffee. By using this information, they were able to build an entire advertising campaign that reshaped or reoriented the consumer perceptions around decaffeinated coffee and caffeine-free coffee, basically. And he says that the campaign was a great success. He stresses very much the need of using the advertising as a sales tool and a tool that contains very precise, deep, and also differentiating information. Another area in today's marketing and in today's social marketing, where we have the Facebook marketing, the Instagram and Pinterest marketing that is pretty much dependent on pictures, is part of the book that addresses the use of pictures. Also in this case, I learned a couple of things that are very interesting. The first one is the author saying the picture itself takes a lot of space and takes cognitive power from the viewer. If you use the picture, make sure that it is used only to describe product features or benefit that cannot be described in words. So for example, the freshness or the immediacy, bringing immediacy to certain products, freshness of a grocery, for example. But if anything else can be described in more details in print, it says do not use pictures, basically. And do not be afraid of using all the space at your disposal to bring more information about the product, because people that are interested will read that. People that are not interested, they wouldn't read it anyhow. As a corollary to this teaching about how to use picture, The author talks about also when to use color picture, when to use black and white pictures, and he again reiterates the concept that you want to use color pictures only in those situations where the color adds an information that cannot otherwise convey through the text. So that is, for example, a fresh orange or a fresh banana. That's the situation in which the author sees as positive the use of color. Otherwise, is saying black and white is more than sufficient. So overall, the book, I find the book very interesting. I will stress the point that I think it's very useful to those who have either no knowledge or partial knowledge of advertising, that they believe, as I believe, the point that I knew enough, and then they might fall into the mistake or the trap of doing things that they seem common sense, but actually will end up getting the personal campaign not working, or even getting the campaign bankrupted, because you're gonna go and spend so much marketing money on just, you know, not even a dent in changing the perception or the intention or the intent of your audience. And as I said, a pretty interesting book for me. I hope that this review was of interest for you and useful. And if you want to buy this book, once more, the book is Scientific Advertising, and you can find it on Amazon Audible, or you can order it from any other online bookseller. Hope this was useful. Thank you so much. Have a nice day, and I'll be back soon with other suggestions and other books that I have been reading. Thank you.